BFB and TPOT, but whoever is last safe is out. This one is simple. Instead of the contestant that normally gets eliminated, whoever is in the bottom 2 with them gets out instead. As with the other alternate elimination orders, the original eliminated contestant will replace whoever was bottom 2 in future eliminations in terms of their votes. In BFB 1, Lightning forgot to fly, so Iance ended up being unable to retrieve a basket this time. Instead of Pencil being the first boot, it's Fanny who leaves the game instead. Leafy is apparently not great at managing the team without harming everyone on it, so her team loses in BFB 2. Despite this, David is the one who will leave the game with a bit over half the votes Leafy had. Something happens that causes Bommy to partially explode, although we don't actually get to see what happened. Gelatin gets out early on this season because of his fork throwing habits and the harm it causes. Death Pact may have successfully prevented death, but they did not prevent their elimination. What X says will be inverted. Hi lie bye pie. Beep are the first repeat losers as they're unable to move out of the way of the cliff. Since Leafy is replacing David, that means she is out, as David was bottom 2 this episode. Bell breaks the basket they were hiding under and caused Clock to get the twinkle, so they lost. However, it's not him who leaves, but Eggy instead. Despite their best efforts to keep Remote from putting the Liar Ball into a better name than that's Hole, she ends up successfully able to do so. Golf Ball gets out here, vindicating 8-Ball in the process. This team didn't lose because Stapy cheated, they lost because they got caught, though they definitely deserved to lose for that. Puffball is out. Beep loses for a third time due to a misunderstanding, believing they only had to throw 1 ball instead of weighing the basket down. Rocky is gone with Roboti as David getting nearly triple the votes. It's time for a rejoin, and whoever gets the second most votes will rejoin. That happens to be Eggy, as she's replacing Loser. Iance is the second team to lose a second time, and the member they will be losing in this elimination order is Snowball. Team Ice Cube is the third team to lose a second time because they didn't realize Spongy was the fake quickly enough. Naily is out here. 8 Names finally loses after 3 other teams lost twice, one of which lost 3 times up to this point. Dora will not be exploring the exit, as Lollipop is eliminated instead. Team Ice Cube failed to get safety for a 3rd time, and Donut pays the price, even though he was dead for the whole previous episode. Split time, Donut rejoins as Spongy and Leafy rejoins as Loser. Meanwhile, everyone who switches to TPOT, 40 contestants total, ties for 15th place. As a quick refresher, Bracelety replaces Gelatin, Dora replaces Lollipop, and Eggy replaces Leafy. However, Ruby is out of the game as she is still bottom 2. On this team, Donut replaces Spongy and Leafy replaces Loser. Sandwiched in between them in votes is Blocky, who is bottom 2. As these 6 struggle to get more air, they also shrink down to 5, as Bracelety as Gelatin will leave the game. Someone on the Have-Cots ends up dousing X with water, finally allowing them to cool off, so the Have-Nots lose. Taco's gone an episode earlier than normal. The Have-Nots lose twice in a row, so will lose a 2nd member in a row. The original winner, Flower, sees her demise here in the closest vote in series history, at least relative to how many votes were cast. They lose the court case despite none of them being the one to steal the diary. Dora will have to explore the BRB, not that there's much to see. This is the last time a team loses before the merge, and in this one, Leafy, who is replacing Flower currently, is out of here. In our first merge elimination, out of Eggy, Teardrop, Woody, and Fiery, Woody will be out of here as he was in the bottom 2 by about 200 votes. Profiling will not be included here as they didn't technically get out with votes at all. It's arguable if they were even a contestant. Of those who are, Balloony is out of the game. Of Eggy, Fiery, Teardrop, and Bubble, Teardrop is the only one who is not replacing someone else. That continues to be the case as Fiery, who replaces Gelatin, is eliminated. Teardrop continues to remain the only contestant to not be replacing someone else, as she got immunity. Instead, Donut is out of the game in 4th place. After all this time, Teardrop is the last contestant who will replace someone else, because Bubble will leave the game. Since Eggy is replacing Flower, she has the most votes, but since whoever has the second most voted will win the series, that means Teardrop, who's replacing Gelatin, wins. Congratulations to her! Now let's move over to TPOT. Since 2 contestants join, I'm not gonna bother changing the debut, so winner and price tag still join as they normally do. The first team to lose is Death Pact again, with Pencil replacing Fanny and Lai replacing Pie. Marker is the first contestant to leave Teapot in this timeline. The strongest team actually turns out to be the second weakest, as they are the second team to lose a member, with Match replacing Snowball and Loser replacing Eggy. On that note, Loser will be the first contestant to leave the team. Teapot 3 is the first episode where 2 teams lose, and the first of those is Team 8's. The only contestant replacing someone else is Spongy, who replaces Donut. He is also out of here. The other team that loses is the S, where Roboti is replacing Rocky. Ice Cube is out of the game, and Cloudy gets to stay. Just Not has their first loss here, and Fiery Jr., who replaces Naily, will now replace Book, as she is the one who leaves the game. We also have our first repeat losers of the season in this episode, Death Pact again. Pencil replaces Fanny, who was bottom 2, so she is out. The strongest team are the second team to lose a second time, and Foley also escapes elimination again as Basketball was bottom 2 this episode. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Are You OK is the last team besides the 1-member team Teardrop to lose, so still have 7 members, with 8-Ball replacing Golf Ball and Stapy replacing Puffball. They will have 6 now though, as in both eliminations, the ball is out. The S loses a second time, and this time they place dead last. Bottle had the second least votes, so her chances are shattered. Additionally, the third and for now at least final elimination of Death Pact again sees Remote get eliminated, and Lightning gets to stay. For Just Not's second elimination, Bommy was in the bottom 2 originally, so Cake gets to stay in the game this time. The S also has their third defeat, and their second in a row, with Cloudy being the victim of elimination this time, finally. Are You OK loses again this episode, and by just 3 votes, 8-Ball is out and Stapy survives. It's ironic that both of the bottom 2 are replaced. teammates also loses again finally, and Saw escapes elimination again, with Needle being the one to get out here. Teardrop dies and is eliminated as the only member of her team. Just Not also loses, and Fiery Jr. gets out here, finally. And with that, we can continue no farther, so here are all the contestants who are replacing someone else, along with who they're replacing. Thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you in the next one.